Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as Chair of the International Committee for the Conservation of Intangible Cultural Heritage, I welcome you all here today as we celebrate the recent ratification of Intangible Cultural Act 167, Safeguarding the Curry Burger. We, the committee, gather today at the Convention of Safeguarding the Curry Burger to appoint the incoming guardian of the curry burger. Before I ask each delegate to present their argument, I wish to remind committee members of the definition of intangible cultural heritage taken from the International Treaty of Safeguarding International Cultural Heritage. Intangible cultural heritage refers to the practices, representations, expressions, knowledge and skills, as well as the instruments, objects, artefacts, and cultural spaces associated therewith that communities, groups, and in some cases individuals recognise as part of their cultural heritage. For the purposes of this convention, the main focus will be given solely to culinary tradition as intangible cultural heritage, which has until recently been overlooked as a key form of intangible cultural heritage. I read from the Convention of Safeguarding Intangible Cultural Heritage. Safeguarding refers to the protective measures aimed at ensuring the viability of intangible cultural heritage, including the identification, documentation, research, preservation, protection, promotion, enhancement, transmission, particularly through formal and non-formal education, as well as the revitalisation of the various aspects of such heritage. Form of intangible cultural heritage today we must discuss is the curry burger. Globalisation created the conditions of hybridisation or fusion food, and today we face the complicated situation ascribing the curry burger's genealogy, history and territory of both elements, the hamburger and the curry. Further, we must locate the unification of these two elements that is globally adored today as the curry burger. The complex claim of guardianship of the curry burger begins with curry. Who will claim curry, India or Japan? It's become more complex when we approach the hamburger, which is claimed to be a legacy of Britain, America and Germany. However, it is important to make clear here that the responsibility of safeguarding the legacy and authenticity of this dish is in the midst of discovery, innovation and novelty of dishes and recipes inspired and sourced by our ancestors. As you know, the committee has a substantial responsibility in this area. Its decisions have a direct impact on the way in which intangible cultural heritage is safeguarded, not only within communities, but also at a national and international level. I would equally like to emphasise that each state party has a duty to implement the convention at the national level and to actively participate in international cooperation efforts. Today, along with the committees, we have representation from state parties and delegations from the United States of America, India, Germany, Japan and Britain. I would now like to give the floor to the first delegacy from the United States of America to express their submission about the guardianship of the curry burger.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all today on behalf of the United States of America. The burger has been part of American history since 1890. It was created in Los Angeles and became an American classic. Restaurants began serving hamburger sandwiches, and recipes for making them were published in mainstream cookbooks already by 1910. By the 1920s, hamburgers began to be mentioned in American literature, such as Sinclair Lewis's Aerosmith and Free Air, which I'm sure you will all know. By then, hamburgers were also being served in school cafeterias, where they were promoted as good, wholesome foods. Food that was not only nourishing and not so heavy on the stomach, but very tasty to boot. And what is more, The American kids absolutely love them. Hamburgers have become a staple food in the American home. They were easy to make in frying pans, in ovens, and grills. Hamburgers became a staple at picnics, using outdoor barbecue pits to cook the meat. When home barbecue grills became fashionable, hamburgers became part of summer fare. Imagine Dad standing over a hot barbecue on a warm summer's day, Mama cooking making ice lemonade, and the kids running around on the field. We all can imagine this image, can't we? So talking about the origin of the hamburger, we can only agree that the hamburger is part of American life and culture. Therefore, the task of safeguarding the curry burger and any derivatives is our responsibility, and ours alone. Thank you.
Thank you, United States of America, for your brief narrative regarding the hamburger. Now I give the floor to the United Kingdom as well to state their argument.
Thank you, Moderator. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the British people, I would like to state that the burger, as we know it today, cooked patties of ground meat, usually beef, placed between two slices of bread or on a bun, has its lineage in the sandwich, conceived in 1762 in England. At the time, beef between two pieces of bread, known as the sandwich, was popularized by John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, a great man. The sandwich itself became a fixture of intimate evening suppers, teas, and picnics. The latter genre of the sandwich gave rise to multitudes of working-class recipes. During the early years of the railroad, for example, sandwiches proved to be an ideal accompaniment to any journey. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the sandwich came into its own, especially during the temperance movement, when pubs and saloons offered one free sandwiches with their drinks in order to attract customers in this difficult time. These stories clearly emphasize that the culture of eating meat and beef on a bun is a great British legacy, which would give rise to the hamburger. Furthermore, I would add, the shawarma, doner kebab, banh mi, and many other varieties are all possibly inspired by the British sandwich. If we talk about the genealogy of the hamburger, it is clear this is a British invention. And on behalf of the United Kingdom, I do solemnly commit to safeguarding the hamburger and all its derivatives, preserving, protecting its authenticity and its cultural heritage. Thank you.
Thank you, United Kingdom. Now we hear from Germany.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. As a representative of Germany, I would like to say that the word hamburger itself already shows the German right to safeguard the curry burger as a part of German culture. The inspiration for the hamburger comes from the German city, Hamburg. In the 19th century, meat from Hamburger cows was minced and combined with garlic, onions, salt and pepper, then formed into patties without bread to make hamburger steaks. These early burgers were considered gourmet and were quite expensive given the quality of Hamburger cows. When German immigrants began arriving in New York and Chicago, many earned a living by opening restaurants. By the late 1860s, German restaurants attracted a wide variety of patrons who were enticed by the tasty and inexpensive foreign food. Hamburger steak first appeared on the menus of German restaurants during the early 1870s. During the Industrial Revolution, factory workers were served hamburger steak from food carts. They proved difficult to eat while standing, so one creative cook sandwiched the meat patty between two slices of bread. The first hamburger was born, an evolution that boosted this food's popularity all over the America. To sum up, without German migrants, there wouldn't be any hamburger influence in the United States of America. Even though the sandwich came from Britain, without Hamburg, located in Germany, there wouldn't be a hamburger. If there wasn't a hamburger, ladies and gentlemen, there would be no curry burger. Ich danke Ihnen, meine Damen und Herren.
Thank you, Germany. I invite India to put forward their claim.
Thank you very much. Good day, namaste. Excellencies, distinguished delegate, ladies and gentlemen. My objection to the previous statement of my fellow delegates and their fiction stories about the historical value of the curry burger seems unacceptable. The only matter exists in curry burger, only the burger or hamburger or bun or bread. You may forget about the most important ingredient, which is curry itself. The first world country representative could claim the ownership over the origin of hamburger. But again, I would say, as a non-curry nation, I state that without Indian curry and without India influence on curry, the curry burger wouldn't exist in this world. India has at least more than 20 types of dishes classified under the curry name. We are the richest country of curry. Therefore, you might to think deeply which is more important, the curry or the burger. Yet, as the representative of the curry nation, I might offer a suggestion and propose that the curry should be main ingredients in the special dish named curry burger. Ladies and gentlemen, consequently, India has the big reputation of curry. We incline to bear the task of safeguarding the curry burger. Thank you very much.
Thank you, India. I look forward now to hearing Japan's claim to the curry burger.
皆さんこんにちは。ありがとうございます。Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Even though the curry is not originally from our land, our ancestors, or our nation, but we have the utmost respect for this dish. We believe since the curry arrived in Japan in 1868, at the beginning of the Meiji era, curry became part of our blood. Moreover, to respect the curry, we built a curry museum in Yokohama and officially celebrate National Curry Day every January 22nd. Speaking about genealogy, we admit curry does come from India, and we are thankful for this Indian invention. But here, this committee not only discuss about curry or burger only, but the curry burger. Speaking of this, we are confident it is partially a Japan invention. So our dish named karepan, which is kare bread, a meat kare wrapped in a piece of dough, which is coated in breadcrumbs and deep fried. I mean, to incorporate the meat kare in bread or bun is the main concept of the curry burger. So, in the very respect and humble, we, the Japanese State Party, suggest that curry burger belong to us. Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, representatives from state parties of United States of America, United Kingdom, Germany, India, and Japan. Each have put forward strong and convincing arguments, which makes our task of assigning guardianship of the curry burger a difficult one. I would now like to open the floor to debate the guardianship of the curry burger. Friends of the curry burger, I declare the floor open.
Now, firstly, to respond to these ludicrous claims of my fellow delegates, I feel we must go back to the history of the hamburger before focusing on the significance of curry in our culture to make clear the unarguable fact of the curry burger's British heritage. To the uninformed may believe American settlers took sandwiches, but in fact there's no early written record in the New World. A sandwich recipe didn't appear in the United States of America until being present in a cookbook in 1815. Why would such an amazing creation go unsung in the nation for so long? It seems early American cooks tended to avoid culinary trends from the United Kingdom. And the sandwich itself comes from the British peerage system, something most Americans wanted to forget. So, it is clear burgers are sandwiches, renamed simply because America wanted to forget the land from which they set forth. But history is in the past, and now we must look towards the future. It is clear that burgers and their variants, including the curry burger, which we're here to discuss today, are part of British culinary tradition and must therefore be safeguarded by Great Britain alone.
Thank you very much, UK. I am extremely grateful to hear that the British acknowledge their imperialism in this meeting and very much agree that we should leave this ragged situation into the past. However, the hamburger and the sandwich are still two different things. For God's sake, they've got two different kinds of buns, two different kinds of textures, different connotations. They're two different things. Let's all be clear about that. The important question is here, which is more significant, the hamburger or the curry? I disagree with my fellow delegate from India. I would argue that the hamburger is still the main part of this dish. Yes, I agree that the curry is an important part, but still everything that lies in between the two buns is called a burger. It just needs additional explanation. Think of the cheeseburger, the kimchi burger, the curry burger, anything kind of burger. Therefore, the most important element of the curry burger is the hamburger, which clearly belongs to our culture through the United States of America.
Nein, objection. The most important element of the curry burger is, of course, the beef patty, which was invented by Germany. The dish called the curry burger is just a shorter version of the word hamburger. This clearly points to its origin in German history and to the city of Hamburg. Without the hamburger, the dish would be called Brötchen mit Currysoße.
That is not totally true. If you mix a vegetable with a curry, it becomes curry vegetable. If you mix a curry with the rice, it becomes a rice curry or curry rice, whatever you call. But the important thing in this mixed up is curry, and everyone knows that curry is from India. My fellow delegates even cannot agree about the burger or hamburger. Is it from Germany, is it from Britain, or is it from America? But the only thing that we are sure is curry is from India, and there is no doubt in it. So Japan claim the curry for Japan, but they say we have a curry day. I don't trust Japan. Japan even had Tom Cruise Day. How can we trust their history is true? So India can claim the curry burger for its nation, for its country, to protect and safeguard the history and the preservation of curry burger.
Look, India may have some claim to the curry, but in fact, one of the only places in the world that didn't have a dish in which the designation curry was used is India. All of the dishes with a thin soup-like spice dressing, which you now claim as curry, had different names: bhaji, buna, dansak, kofta. It is in fact Britain which spread, introduced, and presented the word and the taste of curry to the world. An important note to all of the delegates here today: Christopher Columbus, the great Englishman, was key in the spread of spices and chilies across the globe through international trade. So the fiery spice and chili that is inseparable from the taste of curry as we know it today has its roots in British ingenuity.
The statement that was just delivered by my fellow representative from the UK is undoubtedly true. Through British imperialism, some of the main ingredients were spread, including herbs, powder, not only that, but also slaves. The British Empire has one of the darkest histories in slavery and human exploitation in the world. Therefore, I'd like to suggest that positioning the history of the curry burger inside the UK imperialist history, full of violence, should be taken off the record. But talking about distribution, I would like to emphasize that the curry burger was popularized by America's most successful global corporate chains, such as McDonald's. The world burger invasion is reinforced by the emergence of McDonald's in 1942. The McDonaldization of the world shows how the hamburger, which belongs to American food culture, spread across the world. I mean, who of us could honestly say that they've never eaten a burger at McDonald's? In 2012, the curry burger was even part of our Great Taste of the World promotion. We, the United States of America, brought the curry burger to the world. Without McDonald's and without the US of A, the curry burger wouldn't even be known, let alone be considered global cultural heritage.
ありがとうございます、my friend. All countries dedicated can claim their contribution to a curry burger. However, no country can defeat Japan's devotion toward curry. Curry is in our blood and bread. The Japanese combine curry in every type of Japanese food, such as udon, ramen, rice, soba, sushi, soup, omelets, pasta, spaghetti, sausages, and especially with bread, which is called karepan. In fact, karepan has been invented as far back as the 1920s. The same time the hamburger was established in America. That shows another proof that hamburger is also part of Japan invention.
The Japan invention came after the US of A invented the hamburger.
Which came after Britain invented the sandwich.
The sandwich is still something else.
ridiculous.
It's two different things.
As well as the sandwich, we also invented many curries.
This is
such as the
nonsense.
masala.
Nonsense.
カレーパンについて話して
This is not true.
If I may.
Mine is about
America-
the beef,
Kare
which
pan-
comes from India.
What are you saying about
カレーパンについて話して
This is totally different from
Sandwich
slavery.
and curry are both
As,
from Britain.
as America always invade other cultures, even other lands, they invade our culture, they invade the curry burger that which comes from India. We don't trust the UK also because they have a great history in the slavery, as I agree with fellow American, but still Britain always invade other country and steal their culture and heritage, as they steal from India a lot of things, so they steal our curry. Now they call that India even don't have curry. How can you say that India is old as human history? America just exists 300 years ago.
Friends.
Who can trust America?
We brought you the railways and we brought you the curry burger.
Do you know that India curry is 6,000 years old?
I don't know of any book where this is mentioned.
It is written in Mahabharata, in our Gita, in our national and heritage books,
What is
and
this
ancient
even?
books in our
What
temples.
is this even?
We have temples all over India. It's mentioned
I'm
in
not
their
arguing
books.
that you don't have any temples. I'm
We have
arguing that
books.
you didn't invent the curry burger.
The curry burger is mentioned in our book.
is mentioned in your book.
A 4,000 years old book.
So the curry burger is 4,000 years old?
You even cannot suggest whether sandwich or burger, from which country. At least you know that curry is from India.
Indian people don't even eat meat. You're vegetarian, for God's sake.
That is not true. Our 50% of population eat curry burger, as we love meat in our country, and because the important thing is curry is originated from India and spread around the world.
But cows are sacred in your country. You can't eat them.
It is for some people, but not for all India. India is a diverse nation.
Well, I can tell you that in the US of A, 100% eat burgers.
Sandwiches came first.
Curry is first. This is 100% proof that curry is from India. But
Curry
you cannot
is first.
decide
We
where
invented the word curry.
where is
But how you
where is
prepare
the
the
burger from?
But sorry,
the recipe for the
what are you all
meat.
talking about? About curry?
The origin.
And you with your hamburger.
It's
Everyone curry is from India.
Curry is not from India.
This is ridiculous.
Curry burger is from
Ridiculous.
India has
The cameras have
No
stopped.
one would have even gotten
Over.
the idea.
This is over.
India has the longest history of curry.
Friends, we are not finding an answer today. I've turned the cameras off. This is ridiculous to continue like this. We'll adjourn for the day and continue tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your passion towards the curry burger. Until tomorrow, thank you.
Nonsense argument.
Well, it's lovely. Really,
Is that
we
seriously this
thought
book
about
that you
going to
said
the
to us?
summer
What was
house
the
again
name?
this-
I just made it up. We Indian
curry
make
there.
everything up.
You really made it up.
Yes.
But what about the curry pun? This sounds quite delicious.
Do you honestly think that McDonald's is slavery?
Well,
We Indian people love
slavery
McDonald's.
is maybe
Everybody
like
loves
too
McDonald's.
big of a word.
I know.
That is true. Actually, it is a big corporation of human exploitation,
Human deliciousness.
but we eat everything.